Now, that was the Dale Shearer arrangement of Jumping Jack Flash, the Dale Shearer, the man with a bad attitude, and that came through. Roy, when did you first come across that song?
Well, I can't... Yes, I do recall. I think it was just after I'd been out on a pig shoot with Noel Crichton Brown. He's a funny sort of bloke. He'd just wing 'em. You know what I mean? He'd wing 'em and then he'd strangle 'em. He's a very terrific bloke.
Yes.
Terrific bloke. And I remember he had that. He had that on cassette and he played that in the four-wheel drive on the way back with the you know, the bunnies and the pigs, and the roos just swinging in the back. And he could drive just at the right pace so that they'd thump. Their heads would thump the bottom. Not easy to do. It's bloody not.
A magic moment, and I know you have to stop and get out and shoot a few more after you've heard it. Now I think we should cross over to dressing room 6 and see how the lads are going, the Sydney City lads are going, and there they are. God almighty, they're swinging into it.
Look, that...
What do you make of their style, Roy?
Well, look, Zelko's taken control, I think. He's the carpenter. And, gee, it must be pretty easy to work out. Well, what are they doing? Oh, they're using a bit of water in a jar or something to make sure it's level. But you'd imagine it would be level, wouldn't it, if you put the pegs in the right spot or something like that?
Well, they're just doing a tremendous job, and it's easy to see why they play soccer.
No,
I'm hoping they'll get the ball out and have a few kicks at it. Jeez, coming on a treat.
Now, the desk isn't finished, isn't it? They're working on the lamp. Is that the case? Or, I mean, the desk doesn't look finished. It's not the sort of desk I've been.
Well, I know with these kits you can get an Allen key, and I would suggest we send a runner out there and have a look around the floor somewhere, in the carpet there, and they'll find a thing bent like that that's necessary to do up the nuts in it.
Which obviously they discarded.
That's right. But we'll cross back to it and have a look how the lads are going out the back later on. But now I'd ask you to get them out once again and really give a loud, rowdy, toot-lewd style welcome to our next guest. She began her career, or came to prominence, should I say, with a performance that wowed us all in Strictly Ballroom. She's got a couple of new films on the go, Hotel Sorrento and Metal Skin. Can you please give a warm Club Buggery welcome to Tara? Obviously, Tara, on Club Buggery, we ask our second guest to help us out with a little game in the You Must Remember This section. Yes. And tonight we've got some fabulous prizes, some really great prizes. Obviously, there was the hat Johnny Bertrand wore on the boat today. There's a date finger shirt available from all ABC shops. And at last, you wanted it, and there it is, the World of Ian plate. And look at that logo, extraordinary people living ordinary lives. And this is a Pro Heart on the painting here, and the instructions from Pro are no dishwasher, no microwave, no sharp instruments, no food. So it's very, very useful.
How many firing days were there, actually?
We only fired on 423, and so we've only been able to produce 40, and so this is a very rare set of plates, but I think it captures so wonderfully everything that is Ian, and everything about Ian's place, Ian's career, Ian's life, Ian's parents, Ian's friends, Ian's fishing mates, etc., etc., etc. Now, we're playing for someone special tonight.
Yes, Tara, you'll be playing for Luke Price. Luke Price is in here with us today. Luke is celebrating his 16th birthday. Luke, where are you?
Don't be shy,
just put your hand up, mate.
Yes, there he is up there. Come on, Luke, stand up so everybody can see you. Don't be shy. A lot of people said Luke could never make it to 16, but he's proved his knockers wrong here on Club Buggery in the most convincing fashion. Back to the chase.
You'll be playing for Luke. Now, we'll just roll a little bit of film. It will freeze, and then we'll ask you what happens next. And by gestalt, you'll be able to, I think, let us know what happens next. So if we can roll the film now, let's have a look. Here's Johnny Bertrand with the cap. The cap, obviously, he's lost a cap already. And here he goes. Now,
there's the freeze.
There's the freeze. Tara, what happens next? What do you think? Have a shot.
The audience can help if they want to. Don't be afraid of... No, steady.
The obvious answer.
Yes,
no, the boat doesn't sink. That was the... Go on, Tara. Have a lash.
He falls in the water.
Let's roll the film and have a look.
Let's have a look. He either falls or gets pushed.
There he goes.
Yes. And loses another cap here, I think we'll see, yes.
Just travel back on board.
Yes, well done.
Look, that was a tremendous effort there, and let's not say that we give the contestants any help here on Club Buggery. But Tara, look, thanks very much for coming in today, or this evening to Club Buggery. I hope these new films make as much as Strictly Ballroom and that you're in for a percentage this time. And on your way out, could you pass these over to the birthday boy?
To Luke.
And in the meantime, we ask the Club Buggery audience here in the Brown to give Tara Maurice a fine send-off. Thanks very much. Tara, just meeting a few fans there from the old days, and now as, you know, regular visitors will know to Club Buggery, it's a special time where we pause and remember. We pause and remember fallen comrades, and tonight we're going to remember the rugby league as the game it once was, the game that the people of Australia once owned. And
the people's game, eh?
The people's game. And when I say the people of Australia, I'm talking about the people in Broome, the people in Subiaco, the people in Prospect in South Australia. I'm talking about the people in Bordertown. I'm talking about the people in Horsham and Hamilton and Victoria and Ballarat and Bendigo. I'm talking about Wallerawang and Lithgow, and I'm talking about the people of Newcastle. I'm talking about the people of Melbourne as a whole, that fabulous suburb of Carlton. They own the game. It's a game that's sadly now owned by two blokes, two big blokes. And so tonight we remember it, and what better way to remember it in this 50th anniversary year of the war than to get an eel, a Parramatta eel, to perform a Dean Martin tune, and we're going to do that now. And here's Paul Dunn from the Parramatta Eels with You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You. Take it away, Paul. Remember the league.
You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world is the same, you never change it. As sure as the stars shine above, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. Never change it. As sure as the stars shine above, well, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love.
Yes, and I think we should go and check on the job again. I understand I've had a bit of news communication with Dressing Room 6, and the lads have no tools in there, and so they're just improvising about. In fact, they're just being silly buggers, as you can tell. Let's go over and have a look. There they are. I think they've knocked off for the night. They've certainly got it up and running, and it looks tremendous. I don't know what else they can do. Obviously, that was planned, I think.
Yes, harvest hygiene.
They'll be climbing up the walls soon and trying to jump off the soap container, Craig McDermott style. But let's hope they can get it back and we could cross over later on and see how they're getting on. But unfortunately, the challenge has been reduced to a farce.
Yes, it has.
A farce?
It has. It's as if Rupert Murdoch was organising. Without being too unkind.
Roy, I think we broke the story some time ago on Club Buggery that Julia Roberts was going to get married to Lyle Lovett.
That's right.
Now, then, in more recent time on Club Buggery, we've broken the story that Julia and Lyle are separating. And now I understand we can break the story tonight that they're suing for divorce.
Is that right?
What has gone wrong with the Julia Roberts-Lyle Lovett romance that I believed was made in heaven when they first got hooked?
It could be the tyranny of distance, Julian O'Neill, Danny Minogue style, couldn't it, for a start?
Julian McMahon.
Oh, who did I say?
Yeah.
Julian O'Neill?
Well, I haven't heard Julian O'Neill being on with Danny Minogue, but that could be. That could be. We're breaking that story tonight.
That
on
is
Club
news.
Buggery. that is hot off the press. Julian O'Neill.
I think that could work.
Yeah, I think it could.
I think that could work.
I don't think they've ever met each other, and that makes me think it'll work even more the better.
Yeah. You know, Grassy Granell used to say to me years ago, actually, he'd say, Roy, if you're going to get married, make sure the person with whom you're going to share the rest of your life, the pair of you put in 150% each.
Yes.
Because if both of you lose 100% within the marriage, you've still got 100% to fall back on. Now, he's a funny old bugger. I mean, it's got an odd logic to it, but I think it can work for mine.
Yes.
But the thing that worries me too about Lyle and Julia is that ostensibly she left him because he was more interested in his chickens.
Yes.
Because he's a chicken breeder.
Yes. He does a beautiful Ancona. He's got a couple of wonderful wine dots, and I know he's going for a three-legged chook.
Yeah.
It's very, very tricky to do.
Well, he's got the Lacey Wyandotte, he's got the Rhode Island Red, he's got the Rhode Island White.
Has he got that chook with the fluffy, the feathers all over the feet?
Yeah, Australorps. He's got Australorps.
An interesting
Even though
fact.
it's an Australian brand or Australian breed, he's got them. He's got them. He's also done that chook that has no head. It's just got a hole one end and one the other. You just shovel stuff in one end and eat the stuff that comes out the other. I mean, I think chook poultry. I don't know if you got to the Royal
Sydney Royal Easter
Sydney
Show.
Royal Easter Show and had a look at the poultry pavilion in there. But I think the Anconas this year were the best ever. And I think poultry breeders are terrific blokes, and they are breeders, HG. If you're into chooks,
yes.
you're into life.
Yes. Can I...
Maybe it was just a little bit lively in the sort of...
in the fowl house. And not
gonna say,
lively enough in the
Well, I thought
bedroom.
in the downstairs stakes, I think he's pretty lively if we can use the litmus of poultry. Because anyone I've known who's been into breeding poultry, especially your headless two bottom types, they're wild, crazy Errol Flynn types.
Roy, the other thing is, the sad news is, of course, is they only spent 10 nights together. They might have been married for at least, say, 400 nights.
You mean...
Of which they only managed to find each other in the same proximity space.
Spoon style,
spoon style, or, you know...
or reverse spoon.
10 times. Now,
Well,
would
that's
you
a sad
recommend...
indictment, isn't it?
Yes, of how much the attraction of poultry breeding can be for a bloke like Lyle Lovett.
Yes, indeed. But had she shown more interest in his chooks, he might have shown a little bit more interest in her.
It's a strange thought, but it could be true. And speaking of farmyard activities,
Yep.
let's go over to our infotainment section tonight, here
yes.
in the Brown, on Club Buggery, and Annie Fulwood's Wonderful World of Cats.
The wonderful world of cats. With Anne Fulwood.
Hello there everyone, I'm Anne Fulwood from the Channel 10 Late News, and you well may wonder what I do in my spare time. Well, when I'm not at work, I spend a great deal of time introducing people of all ages to the wonderful world of cats. Now, in choosing a good cat, there are many things to look for, and over the next few weeks I'll be doing my best towards helping you make an informed selection about which cat is right for you. So let's start with style. Now, I like a cat that's very fluid. Take this cat, it has tremendous style. It's nice and fluid, there's absolutely no sign of cramping, and when you look at it front on, at eye level, it presents itself as slightly boxed, and gee, I like a cat like that. So, for this cat on style, I'll give it a good 7 out of 10. So that's it. For style, look for no cramping, very fluid, and a lot of boxing. There's another good one for you. Next week on The Wonderful World of Cats, I'll talk you through the head and the body. This is Anne Fulwood, and my friend signing off.
Buggery, toot, toot, toot. Buggery.